been 2 months since I've been an atheist now. And throughout this time, I've looked at so many videos, a lot of resources on YouTube, a lot of resources online. I've read a lot of books, and I've just tried to look at both sides. And throughout my time reading books, meeting people, and talking with all kinds of different people, I've realized that we atheists should have a crucial characteristic in order to be honest intellectually and emotionally with ourselves and everyone around us. When we say we're an atheist, why are we an atheist? That's a question that we should answer. Many people say atheism doesn't need justification, but I think it does. I think as an atheist, you're going to have to answer a lot of questions that philosophically are going to be challenging to your view. So you have to have some kind of answer to those kinds of questions as an atheist. So that's what I mean by having a justification for why you're an atheist. That's the first important thing that you must establish is, why am I an atheist? Ask yourself, really, look deep down. Is it because the church hurt me? Is it because this certain person said something bad? Is it because I've grown up this way? Find a good reason of why you're an atheist. And then secondly, the most important thing I think all atheists should have is honesty with themselves and the people around them. We have to try our best to control our confirmation bias and not think in the way that we want to think, right? Not have our beliefs threatened when we see opposing experiences or viewpoints or arguments being made, but to actually consider them. Because if we're being an honest, intellectually honest, emotionally honest atheist, we want to consider each side. There should always be a possibility of us turning to belief in God. And personally, I believe we should be putting ourselves in situations where we're going to have the opportunity to experience what other people have experienced in order to believe in God. So I myself personally have enrolled in an RCIA class at my local Catholic church in order to gather around these people, have them share their experiences, and go to church and be with these people and see what really drove them to have this belief. Now, when I'm at church, I keep very strong checks on my emotions, because that can very easily get out of hand. Yes, it's a very comforting place. Yes, there's a community. Yes, it's beautiful music, beautiful arts, but that doesn't prove the truth value of these claims. But what does help us believe is personal experience. I am not a stone cold, hard atheist. I would like to describe myself as a non-resistant non-believer, right? So I don't have an agenda to be an atheist. I don't want to be an atheist. That if I have the evidence there, right? If I have the arguments. Now, evidence doesn't always mean scientific evidence, right? There's not always going to be scientific evidence for a lot of things. But is there rational, logical arguments? Is there philosophical arguments? Is there historical evidence, right? These things have to all be evaluated in order to make this kind of decision. Now, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to a subjective, emotional choice in order to believe in God and submit yourself to God. That's just a part of the religion. That's why it's not science. Otherwise, it would be science. But just because it comes down to that doesn't mean it can't build upon a rational foundation. And that's what I believe is very important for us atheists to acknowledge, is that at the end of the day, it's going to have to come from a personal experience. It's going to have to come from something more, right? Something more than just scientific explanations. So all I'm trying to promote here is, as an atheist, you should go out there and experience. You should go to church. You should go to a Buddhist temple. You should go to any of these religious sites. See the experience, feel the experience, and judge for yourself. Does this feel right? Does this feel true? And from those emotions, combine those emotions with the arguments that you already know, the rational reasoning arguments, and see if it adds up, right? For me, so far, it has not added up. There's plenty of atheist arguments out there, and that's the really big trouble of being an atheist, right? There's always more to learn, right? So at some point, you're going to have to submit yourself, but you want to get as reasonable as you can. You want to find as much foundation for your belief as you can. Because the atheist that becomes a believer based on rational thought, foundation, and exploring in their journey is a much stronger believer than someone who just believed from the beginning. The atheist that has a rational foundation for their belief has a much stronger belief than that of someone that established their belief based on feelings alone. So the point of my argument here and my advice for atheists is, be honest with yourself. Don't sit in your room and create an echo chamber of just atheist ideas, atheist arguments, and just sit there and just close your mind to any other viewpoints outside, right? Go out there and experience what it feels like to be in a church. Don't sit at your house and watch people go to church and just judge them and say, this is so stupid. Once you're there, you may have a feeling, right? And experience is a totally valid way to believe, right? It just has to be backed with a reasonable amount of evidence, reasoning, logic. Just like how religious people can create echo chambers in their churches about how they believe, and how an atheist viewpoint never penetrates into that echo chamber, and they just sit there and believe what they're told and believe whatever it's echoing around in there. The same can be done with atheists. You sit in your room, you go to an atheist class, an atheist group, atheist community, and it's just an echo chamber of atheist ideas. But that's not the right way to be an atheist or to be a believer. The right way is to go and explore both viewpoints and see what holds more ground, what holds more rational reasoning. But yeah, that's pretty much my advice for atheists. Just be honest with yourself and go out there and experience these things. Don't just sit in your room and say, I don't believe, you know, this argument makes sense to me, so I don't believe. Go out there and experience it, because that is a part of belief. That is a part of anything. But yeah, that's my advice for atheists. You can take it or leave it, but I believe that's the most rational way to go about your belief in atheism or religious belief. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if this advice was useful or you found it insightful and anything like that. Comment down. Let's have a discussion in the comments. I love replying to comments and having discussions. That is always great. I love engagement on this channel. So please comment down if you have any thoughts. And thank you so much for watching. This has been Shared Philosophy.